All right, in this video, we're going to be graphing from the slope-intercept form. So we need to pick the correct graph in each problem. If you haven't done this yet, stop the video and do the problems first, and then watch the video and see if you got them right. So these are the solutions to the review. So pause the video, grade yourself, and see if you got them right. Any ones that you missed, you need to watch and learn how to do them so that you're ready for your test. All right, number one says y equals 3x plus 1. Well, the first thing that we need to remember is, what does each of those things mean? 3x plus 1. Well, the plus 1 means that we're going to go up 1 from the origin. So here's 0, 0. And then we're going to go up 1, and this will be our first dot. Okay? So at positive 1. The slope, I'm going to write it over here. Y equals 3x plus 1. The slope here is 3, which means rise over run is 3 over 1. So we're going to run 1 and rise 3. So run 1 and rise 3. 1, 2, 3. So there's our equation. There's our graph of the equation. This is a linear equation, meaning it makes a straight line. And if we wanted to do another dot, let's see, go over 1 and up 3. So there's our next one. Sometimes it helps if you have 3 points to go through to create the line. So that's what that graph would look like. Notice it passes through positive 1, which is where this is coming from. And then it goes over 1 and up 3, which is where the 3 is coming from. 3 is 3 over 1. And that's how you solve that. So let's look on the paper and find out which one of the graphs looks like ours. Well, it's got to be C, because A doesn't pass through positive 1. B is a negative slope. C is a positive slope, and it passes through 1. And D is a slope, positive, but it's a gradual slope. It does not look like our graph. So it definitely has to be C. Okay. Let's do the next one, number 2. And number 2 says y equals 1/3 x plus 2. So the very first thing we need to do is start at the plus 2. Positive 2. So we're going to go up 1, 2. Our first point is at positive 2. Then we're going to use the slope, which is 1/3, which means we're going to rise 1 and run 3. So run 3, rise 1. So I'm going to run 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go up 1 because I have to rise 1. I'm going to go ahead and give myself another point. So I'm going to run 3 again. So 1, 2, 3, and then up 1. That is what my linear equation would look like as it is graphed. So let's see which one looks like this graph. It's a gradual slope, and it passes through positive 2. Well, A can't be it. It's a really steep slope, and it does not pass through positive 2. This one, it passes through positive 2, but it's a negative slope. This one passes through negative 2. Oh, wait, whoops, I wrote it down wrong. My bad. It was negative 2. So we need to start over. So we're going to come down 2 and then run 3. So 1, 2, 3, up 1. 1, 2, 3, up 1. And then that's what our graph looks like. So it does pass through negative 2, and it is a gradual slope, which is C. So it has to be C. Sorry about that. I need to pay more attention. All right, let's go to 3. All right, 3 says 9/4 x minus 5. So make sure I say minus 5 here. It's a negative 5. So that means we're going to start down 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our first point is all the way down at negative 5. Negative 5. Then we're going to go, our slope is 9/4, which means we're going to rise 9 and run 4. So I always run first, but you can rise if you want. It's no big deal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I got to go up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So those 2 points are really far apart. I don't think I have enough space to put a third point, but we can get it. Okay, so that's what my slope, or my equation should look like. Notice it's positive, it's going uphill, and it passes through negative 5. So look in here, this is a negative slope, so it's out already. This is a positive slope, and it does pass through negative 5. It could be this one. This is a negative slope, so it's out. This one's a positive slope, but it passes through positive 5 instead. So it's got to be B. All right, let's keep going. We are on number 4, and it says y equals negative, I'm going to go ahead and put the 1 in, negative 1x plus 1. Notice how it doesn't say negative 1x, it just says negative x, but we know that that means negative 1. So our first point is going to be at positive 1, so right here. And then we have a negative slope, which means we're going to fall. So we're going to run 1 and fall 1. So run 1, fall 1. Run 1, fall 1. And that's what that one would look like. Anytime that your slope is negative, you're going to be falling instead of rising. Okay. And we're looking for a negative slope passing through positive 1. So let's see. A does not pass through positive 1, so it's out. B passes through positive 1, but it's a positive slope, so that's out. C is probably it, because it's a negative slope and it passes through positive 1. Yep, it's definitely C, because D can't be. D is a positive slope. We don't have a positive slope. Okay, number 5. Number 5 says y equals 1/2 x plus 5. All right, this one is plus 5, making sure. So I'm going to start out at positive 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my first point. And then my slope is 1/2. So that means I'm going to rise 1 and run 2. So I'm going to run over 2. So 1, 2, and then rise 1. I'm going to run over 2 and rise 1. And connect my dots. And my graph should look like this, passing through positive 5, and it's a positive slope. Well, the only one that passes through positive 5 that has a slope this gradual is D. Notice how C's slope is too steep. That's probably a 2, not 1/2. Okay, next problem is number 6, And it says y equals -3/5 x plus 4. Well, plus 4 is where we start. So up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have a slope of -3/5, which means that we're going to fall. Anytime that we're negative, we're going to be coming down like a ski slope. So we're going to run 5 and fall 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then fall in 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to connect those points. And I'm looking for a graph that looks like this. So it's a negative slope. It passes through +4. And looks like it's going to be C. If you look here, A is a positive slope, so that's out. B is a negative slope, but it passes through maybe 6 or something, so that can't be. We're looking for it passing through 4. This is, I'm sorry, did I say positive slope? That's a negative slope. And C is a negative slope, which is good, that's what we want. And it does pass through +4. And that is the right answer, because D can't be, it's a positive slope for one thing, and it doesn't pass through +4. So the answer for that one is C. Okay, number 7. Number 7 says y equals 1/2 x plus 3. Well, the plus 3 is where we are, so 1, 2, 3. And then we have 1/2 as our slope. It's a positive, so we're going to be rising. We're going to run 2 and rise 1. Run 2 and rise 1. And we could just keep doing that and create as many dots as you want. But once we have a couple, we can see the line. So we're looking for an equation that looks like this. Passing through +3. And it's a positive slope. So let's look here. A is out because it doesn't pass through +3. B passes through -3, so that's out. C passes through +3, and it's a positive slope, so that one's definitely the answer, because D is a negative slope, so that can't be. So 7 is C. Okay, number 8. Number 8 says y is -1/2 x. Oops, let me fix this. Minus 1. So the very first thing that we're going to do is plot the -1. So down 1. There's our first point. Now we have to use the slope, which is a negative, so that means we're going to fall. So we're going to run 2 and fall 1. So run 2, fall 1. Run 2, fall 1. And we could keep going. And looking at the choices that we have, we're looking for something that's a negative slope and it passes through -1. And looking at our choices, it has to be C. This is a negative slope and it passes through -1. All right, we got 2 left. And we have y equals 1/2 x minus 1. I feel like we've already done this one, but I guess not. So the -1, we our first point, -1. And then our slope is 1/2. So we rise 1 and run 2. So I'm going to run 2 and rise 1. Run 2, rise 1. And I'm going to plot, I'm going to connect those. Notice it's a gradual slope, positive, and it passes through -1. And look at our choices, it has to be A. This is a gradual slope and it passes through -1. The other ones don't have anything like that. Okay, last one. Which is 3/4 x plus 1. So we got a +1, and then we run 4 and rise 3. So run 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then rise 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm not going to do another point because I don't think it's going to show up. I think it's going to be too far away. So again, we're looking for a positive slope and it has to pass through +1. So this is negative, so it's out. This is positive, but it passes through -1. This is positive and it passes through +1. This is probably it. Let's look at D. This is positive, but it passes through -1. So it has to be C. And that's it. So you've had 10 practice problems of graphing equations. And if you've done well, then you're ready for your test. If you haven't done well, then you need to let me know and I'll answer any questions that you have.